I straight up just dropped ketchup all over myself.
It happens to the best of us.
This might be the first podcast where I showed up looking like a straight up slob. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. I didn't even notice until you pointed it out.
Well, how you been? What have you been doing?
Pretty much just this summer I've been working. I've been working at Wings Over. I don't know if you know about it. It's a
what is it?
It's a wings place.
Okay.
In West Hartford.
Oh, as in like they sell chicken wings to eat.
Yes.
Not it's a restaurant themed around the show Wings or something like that.
It's the Wings Over is kind of like they have like an airplane theme. So like their logo is like an airplane, and all the stuff on the menu is like, you know, B-1 Bomber, DC-3, DC-10, all that kind of.
Or named after the actors who appeared in Wings. Heard.
It should be. But yeah, I've just been working there all summer as a delivery driver pretty much. And that's it. But I'm definitely ready to go back to school because it's getting boring, honestly, just working. And What about you?
I've been podcasting people over the summer. Mm-hmm. So that was, and I even foregone having a job because I wanted to be able to be available whenever to like podcast anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotcha.
So I made this my summer thing, podcasting.
That's cool. What gave you the, I guess, inspiration?
Well, I don't know if you listen to many podcasts. Do you?
No, not really.
Well, my favorite kind of podcasts are the ones that are like interviews, kind of just people talking.
Yeah.
But a bit more like interviews.
Yeah.
But in the end, they are more conversations than they are interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about like interviews, it's very much, it's very formal, official. You sit down, you have cameras and stuff. And the person asking questions, all they really do is ask questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they don't really add much to the conversation, if you could call it that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
In the end, you could just hold up a sheet of paper with the questions on them, and the interviewee will answer them.
Pretty much.
So I want there to be like a back and forth, and want it to be just, you know, casual, just people talking who happen to have microphones in front of their faces.
I understand that. It's pretty chill. So that's not really. There's no really a theme. It's just talking about whatever, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah. So you're all set with. Have you registered for classes? Do you know where you're taking?
Yeah. Well, I was actually just trying to figure out a mishap with my classes because I had registered for the fall and. I thought everything was going to be fine because I would have completed all my cinema credits or like the major requirements by the end of the fall semester. So I emailed one of my advisors and I was like, is there a way that I could do like a second major or something because the spring semester I wouldn't have any more cinema credits to complete? And he was like, yeah, do digital media journalism. So I was like, okay. He told me that some of my credits would transfer from my community college, so I'd only need 4 classes. And I was like, cool. But then I was told by somebody else that I would need another whole semester's worth of classes after the spring. And I was like, wait, but I was trying to graduate in spring 2020. And I guess they didn't like transfer my credits right. I've been like you know, emailing, calling people, and so far now they've like dwindled it down to 1 credit that I need. So it's like an extra credit that I'm going to have to take probably in the spring, and I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but other than that, it's been fine.
Have you not like I don't know if you're like this, but when I first came into the university last fall, I did like a whole bunch of, you could say, homework before I even like put down my deposit.
Yeah.
I looked through all the programs I was planning to enroll in, and you know, looked at all the requirements and made a bunch of spreadsheets to like find out what things have I fulfilled, which credits will transfer, what what tends to be offered when. So like listing out all the requirements and a tentative plan of study for myself to make sure I have everything set and where it should be.
Yeah, I guess I like kind of did that with somebody at UHart. Like she didn't say that I wouldn't be able to graduate in 2 years, which that was the plan. Mm-hmm. So I thought that everything was on track, and I had one of my advisors like, help me pick out the classes that I would need. So I thought everything was fine up until, like, if I didn't inquire about even doing a second major, I would still not be aware about like any lack of transfer credits or whatever. So I don't even know how that happened still. Like, they didn't really even explain it. All I know is that I got some extra credits from this class that I took in high school. It was an AP Spanish class, and I guess I didn't count it for whatever reason. So now they are counting it, and it's worth 6 credits.
They should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I had one that it filled out my language requirement, and so I don't have to take a language the whole time I'm here.
Yeah, me too. And I was like, well, why wasn't that just done in the first place? And then they told me all of a sudden it went from 45 credits transferred from Middlesex to 51. And I'm like, well, whose fault was this? Like, you're giving me, and now I still have to pay, like, for 1 credit extra, it's like $500.
It might have been because the evaluators for the College of Arts and Sciences, the 2 that were working there before fall 2018, when we both entered the university, they left in the middle of the summer. And then 2 new people came in to replace them.
Oh.
And there might have been some kind of miscommunication, misplacement of some forms or something.
Yeah, evidently.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to, like, this lady I've been emailing, she's like, yeah, just, let me know when you're free so we could possibly get together and discuss what your options are for this 1 extra credit, because there's like this PE independent class. It's not really a PE class, but it's like, it's 2 credits. And
why would you take that?
It's pretty much just so I can get the right amount of credits. Like, pretty much I just need to take anything that's worth 1 or 2 credits.
Oh, so you can be considered full-time? Or
yeah, well, I am full-time. It's so that I get 120 credits at the end.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so, like, it's not like PE class in high school or whatever. It's like you go to the sports center on campus and you have a punch card and you go there a certain amount of times during the semester or whatever. So she's like, I don't care if you just walk out the back door afterwards. And I was like, well, I mean, if I'm going to be doing it, I'm probably just going to try to work out there if it's something I have to do anyways. Like, I mean, I go to the gym anyways. It's just not on campus because, I don't know, that would be kind of, I just don't, I've tried it and it's just very crowded. And just
not only that, but
I know.
As students who are commuting from a place that's not on campus,
exactly.
I find myself very much staying on the academic side of campus.
Yeah, me too.
The few times I would go over to the residential side would have been, I was in student government. Oh, we're having a meeting at this building. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll go over there. Or if I'm just meeting someone to do something else, and I'm a commuter. I bring my own lunch because I can't afford to live or eat here.
Yeah.
And, just I sit in a academic building, eat my lunch, and just go wherever I need to be for the class on the academic side. And I rarely ever touch the other side of campus.
Yeah. I mean, the only time that I've been over there was last fall. I had a friend who I knew her before even going to UHart. So she transferred from, I forget what the college was, but it was in New York. She transferred from there to UHart. And so we were friends, and she lived there. So we would like hang out and we would do like some of the events that they have on campus together. But then after the fall semester, she just decided that she wanted to go back to the school that she transferred from. So she wasn't there for the spring, and she's still not going to be there. So I don't have really anyone on campus living there who I hang out with. And I had a couple other commuter friends. We would hang out in the commuter lounge, but
yeah,
a couple of them graduated, and then one of them just dropped out. So I'm like, literally, I'm like, where the heck? Everyone just left. Like, what the heck? I was kind of pissed about that. But I'm going to probably try to join some clubs if I can find any, maybe, that work with my schedule, because it's with all these classes that go until like 10 p.m. for this major.
You could have been hanging out with me. Yeah.
I mean, I did see you around on campus a little bit, but did you ever go into the commuter lounge?
Intermittently, I did.
Yeah.
Well, the previous academic year, I was part of student government, which is right across the hall from the commuter lounge. And so whenever I would have some downtime, I would go into the student government office to like do my office hours or just bum around, hang out with the rest of the people in government, rather than go to the commuter lounge.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, towards probably in the spring semester, I didn't go there as much because I just didn't really have that much time, because I also do like a work study job at the computer labs in Abrams.
Okay.
So all I have to do is just go there and sit there for like a couple hours at a time and make sure that people are... Well, I keep the door open so people can come in.
Make sure they're not stealing computers.
Yeah, make sure they're not like, destroying everything or bringing in like full course meals or anything like that. If they have like a coffee or whatever, then I'm like, whatever, it's fine. But if they bring in... I had one dude come in with a bag from Moe's, and I was like, hey, sorry, you can't eat that in here. Like, this is very expensive technology. And he like, you'd think that he'd just be like, oh, okay, go eat it outside and then come back in. But no, he like threw a big tantrum about it. He's like, well, this is my only time for my lunch and I have to work on my project. And I'm like, that's not my problem. Like, I am here, I'm the computer lab monitor, and I know I'm a student just like you, but I'm getting paid to tell you to get the hell out of here and eat your lunch somewhere else.
You would think he does understand your reasoning, and was perhaps too hungry to like listen to reason, or he's just like a douche who just for some reason does not understand. Oh, this is a place with like lots of expensive equipment, and I have whatever the hell I'm eating that might have like weak plastic ramekins of salsa and whatever that could totally get on all this equipment. But there are people who, I guess, just are so oblivious and ignorant that just have no awareness of whatever is going on around them or what their actions could do, and they just that's the general public.
Yeah, unfortunately, but luckily that was the only
like real reticent person who would have been entering the lab.
Yeah, like other than that, pretty much everyone who came in, like, it wasn't even that busy, because last semester I worked the hours from like 6:30 to 9 at night, so it wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot of traffic coming in, and whoever was there, they just, how in the PC computer lab there's like 2 areas that's like blocked by a sliding door. Yeah, they would see me and go into the other one, because people usually just like to be solitary whenever they're doing their work, and I understand that. So I'm like, I mean, cool. I mean, as long as I don't see you bringing in food, then I'm assuming you probably know what you're doing. And sometimes, like, if it's the people in the higher up classes, they have access, like, on their UHart ID, and they could just swipe right in.
Now, did you ever, if I were you, I probably would have done the thing where if, like, see someone go into the other smaller room, I'd every once in a while, like, slide open the door, creep in, and then see maybe they're editing and they have headphones and they're really into whatever they're doing, and then just like shake them.
Oh yeah, that would definitely go over well. I'd probably get punched
and then fired. Or
yeah, I mean, it's a really nice job. I mean, it pays minimum wage. It's a work study job, but there's no like boss really. My boss was our teacher for our class,
Professor Haynes.
Yeah. He was like my boss, kind of, and
your
his
supervisor.
Supervisor,
or like just the guy who
he's telling me what to do,
who's making sure you do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Because like if I had any questions, I would talk to him or whatever. And then I guess the person who's really in charge of it is somebody else who has an office in Abrams, and I think she's in charge of like all different types of work study stuff, but she's really nice. So then nobody was like overseeing me while I was doing it, because that would...
Of course, you're the one overseeing other people.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then like usually, because most of the time nothing was really going on, I would just do my homework or whatever.
Yeah.
While I was there.
So, are you taking any cinema courses this coming semester?
Yeah. I'm taking producing and directing.
Cool.
And a couple of like film study classes. I think one of them's animation, and
I'm taking animation.
Oh yeah, I don't remember what day it is.
Tuesday.
I think
2 to 5.
Yeah, that's probably the one that I'm in.
I remember when I looked at the course listing, animation and producing and directing are Tuesday, Thursday, 2 to 5. But I think at some point it was animation on Thursday and producing and directing on Tuesday, and then they switched them.
I don't know. All I know is that I registered for producing and directing later than I registered for all my other classes, because I had registered for a writing course because I thought I still needed a writing course, even though I was like, I didn't think that I needed it, but on my evaluation it said that I needed it. But then I talked to somebody, and I guess I already had fulfilled that somewhere else, like in high school or whatever. So I didn't need that. So
What prereq? What?
It was like a writing course.
Oh, okay.
So I took that off, and then I was like, well, now I have some empty space. So I found producing and directing. I forget which day it is. I think it
is on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's probably on Thursday.
But correct me if I'm wrong. There's a progression to the production courses that you could take. And last semester you were taking Intro to Filmmaking with me, which is the foundational production course, which means I know the prereq for producing and directing is like either narrative or documentary filmmaking. Does that mean you already took that?
I didn't, but I was allowed into it, I think, because of some course that I took at Middlesex, because I took like pretty much all the intro courses and then some at Middlesex. And then now for some reason I had to take intro courses again here at UHart. But I took, I think the one that counted as a prereq for it was TV production.
Oh, okay.
Because I took that at Middlesex, and they have like pretty much the exact same class here. So
that was like subbed in for one of the...
Yeah, because I think if I didn't have the prereq on my transcript anywhere, then it wouldn't have even let me register for it.
Okay.
But it did, so I'm assuming that I'm fine unless somebody isn't telling me something.
Someone's always not telling you something.
Yeah, honestly.
Is that just producing, directing, and animation?
No, I'm doing film history.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what the other one is. I think...
Film genres? Independent film? Is that it? World cinema?
I think it might be world cinema, something like that, one of those classes. And then I have to take a general biology lab. So that's going to be my one course that is not cinema related or anything.
Cool. I'll be taking animation plus one of those was it Cinema 314 that varies between semesters. It's called Studies in : to whatever they're offering that particular semester.
Yeah.
It's the European road movie.
I think I saw that one. Is that taught by Lang?
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause he was talking all about that last semester.
And that's why you didn't take it.
I mean, I'm already taking film history with him. I had 2 classes with him last semester, and he's a good guy. He's into whatever. You can tell that he's into what he's teaching.
Yeah.
But sometimes he's just so... Like, the readings he assigns, I'm never going to read that. It's just like... It's like 40 pages 3 times a week. So like he just like assigns a huge amount of reading, and then like all you have to do is just pay attention to what he's talking about in class and take notes on what he's talking about in class, because that's all that's going to be on the test.
If I were taking film history, I feel like I wouldn't... not to toot my own horn, but I'm a fan of film. I've read up on a lot of film and history of film. I feel like I'd be able to keep up without reading. I mean, you would think anyone taking film history, well, first of all, they would 99.9% of the time be a film major.
Yeah.
And so they ought to be interested in film. They ought to like know a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. Would they not?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some of what I was taught in my other classes is applicable to film history. Yeah. And even if you didn't really know, if whatever he assigns, he basically just summarizes and talks about the points that he wants to emphasize the most. So like you don't even need to read. You just have to listen to him in class lecture the whole time, which is like, I mean, it's not the whole time because you watch a movie, but...
Do you know what kind of movies you're watching?
For film history?
Yeah.
I don't know because...
Has the syllabus gone up yet? Have you looked at it?
I checked Blackboard, I think, last week, and I haven't seen anything. I don't know where else I would find the syllabus, but I don't think he put it up yet.
Oh, given Lang's demeanor, he'll probably lean a lot towards stuff like experimentalist German stuff, forward French New Wave. But given that it is a film history class, he's going to hit all the big ones, all the like the real kind of pop culture zeitgeist movies, you know, like all the really big popular kind of. He'll probably throw in like a Star Wars or something else, like a Kubrick movie or something like that, you know. Yeah,
I think last semester I think it was. I don't know. I know I watched. I took 2 classes with him last semester. It was film directors, Capra, Minnelli, and Ford. And
so that's Frank Capra,
John
Ford, and who Minnelli?
Vincent
Minnelli.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
I didn't either, but so that he just showed films from all of them, and then I took another class. I think it was like LGBT cinema or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just showed, he goes in order from like oldest to newest, like newest at the end of the semester. And he showed, the only one that I had heard of out of all of that was Call Me By Your Name, which was the last one that he showed.
Yeah. That was from 2017.
Yeah. It was pretty recent.
It was written by James Ivory and directed by this Italian guy whose name I can't pronounce, but it starred Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer, right?
I guess I don't remember the names.
He fucks a peach.
Yes. Yeah, that was a little shocking. I mean, the movie itself was kind of weird to me because they the kid was like 17 and the other guy was like 25. So I was like, I mean, that's a little bit borderline. Not okay.
If you were given the chance to fuck Armie Hammer, would you not?
But I mean, like, I think that was the only really more mainstream movie, because I don't think it was really mainstream, but out of everything else that he showed was
like French or something. Or
literally. There was one. The first one that he showed us for that class was some movie from like the 1930s. And it was in German, and it was about this like girls' boarding school, and the girl like falls in love with one of her teachers or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little weird, but
were there any with like actors you recognized other besides Call Me by Your Name?
Oh, there was one. Oh, I'm trying to remember it had Matt Damon in it.
Was it?
It was like the incredible Mr. Ripley or something.
The talented Mr. Ripley from 99.
Yes.
That was written and directed by Anthony Minghella.
I'm bad with remembering all that kind of stuff, so I'm assuming that you're right.
Yeah, it had so Matt Damon, Jude Law, Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
Might have been other people I'm forgetting. But that's a good movie right there.
Yeah, that one took a twist a lot of them took a twist where the main character, who is usually the one who is like gay, ended up being like also a murderer. And I was like, what are you trying to say, Lang? Because because like also I mean
they were all just adaptations of that Talented Mr. Ripley novel.
Yeah, like a lot of them ended up like that or something like crazy like that happened. It was not really just like, you know, the typical what I was expecting was, you know, somebody who's gay and then has trouble getting accepted or gets kicked out of home or whatever. And there was a couple like that.
It seems like that seems kind of backwards because you would think, being that sexualities besides heterosexuality have not been happily accepted until recent.
Yeah.
You would think if people were making films about it, they would like start easy and go like, oh, it's just a story about them being gay and trying to be accepted in their community. Mm-hmm. But instead they go, it's all these like, well, we need like a normal element to the movie. So like something out, like, oh, about a murderer. Let's throw that in there. And then you see, it's more recent, you see more movies that are just about people who are not heterosexual trying to be accepted. Like there was a movie called Love, Simon a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah,
or other stuff like Call Me by Your Name, or there was one a couple of years ago called Disobedience with Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of it. Huh? But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think the older ones that he showed were the more murdery ones.
The more about what is it more? Was it more gay people who also have been murderers, or was it like murdering gay people? Or
it was the gay people were the murderers. or there was one. Okay, there was one. It seemed pretty old. It was in black and white. I forget what the name is because it was in a different language, but basically. It was this gay couple who, like...
Male?
Yeah.
Okay.
Male gay couple who went around and, like, just stole a little boy and killed him for no reason.
Wait,
just
what?
because they wanted to. And then it just, like, the rest of the movie just showed them getting caught, getting thrown in jail, and then getting murdered in jail. I was like, what the hell am I watching right now? And it's funny because Lang is gay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you... What? and another one, it was about this lesbian couple who, well, they weren't really a couple. It was like this lesbian plumber who worked in an apartment, and then this lady and her husband who moved into the apartment, but the husband was part of the mafia, and the girl, like, you know, fell in love with the plumber, the lady plumber, and then they created like a heist to steal $2 million from the husband who was part of the mafia. That one was actually pretty good. It was interesting, but also like.
Do you remember the era of this movie?
I would say probably like 80s or 90s.
Plumber.
I don't remember the name of it. I know I probably have the syllabus still in my like email, but
was it not in English?
It was in English.
And did you recognize anyone?
I didn't recognize anyone, but yeah, I don't remember.
That sounds interesting and might be something I already know, but I don't have enough information to make the connection.
Yeah, they pretty much just like fooled the crap out of the husband, and it was very tense, but it was good. It was like the whole. I guess them being lesbians aspect was like not even the focus of the movie. It was just them like pulling off this heist.
Wait, was it called Bound?
It might have been. That sounds kind of familiar. I think that's what it was called.
That's that was made by the Wachowskis.
Oh, was that
the people behind The Matrix? They were men, but then they both came out as women. They both turned into. They both came out as trans, and now they're both women.
Yeah,
and
are they twins?
No, they have. So I have not seen. That was our first feature-length movie, Bound. I have not seen Bound, but that sounds like the kind of thing they probably would have done, given the little background information I do have on that movie, Bound.
Yeah, I think now that you're saying that's what it was called, I know. Yeah, it sounds very familiar. So I think that's the movie. I'm pretty sure. If I see like the actress or whoever was in it, I could probably recognize it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bound though.
All right, cool. Because when was that? I can't remember, but it might have been right around the turn of the 90s or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or was it? Or you can maybe it's so buried in your mind you think it's a different movie. Like maybe you confused it with like Thelma and Louise or something.
No, I don't think so.
You would have remembered Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah,
or something. Oh. Did you hear they're making a fourth Matrix film?
No.
Apparently they're doing it.
Really? Where did you hear that?
All over the internet.
Yes.
It was announced like last week or something.
Oh, really? I didn't hear anything about it. But then again, I also am bad at keeping up with things on the internet.
Are you a fan of the Matrix films? Have you seen them? Because I've only seen the first one. Because all I hear about the other ones is that they're bad. Mm-hmm. But they offer some cool, thought-provoking concepts about living in a simulation.
Yeah.
And having in a way it was rather prescient in that world. Everyone's plugged into this thing, this digital space, and they live out their lives. And you could say we've done it. Everyone's constantly on their phones, living very in the digital space, trying to project a life through like Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, that is true. Or like people who have like post videos online and they have like this persona and they create this version of themselves that isn't quite the real version of themselves, but it's what they want everyone else to believe how their life is.
Yeah, and in a way it's kind of backwards because in the Matrix, no one knows they're living. They're being forced or without their knowing or consent. They're in this the Matrix, this digital space where they live out their lives like they think it's normal and it feels normal to them. But in our case, it's like all these people, they voluntarily immerse themselves in this digital space to project whatever this image they want of themselves out on the internet.
Yeah.
We've literally handed ourselves over to the machines, and we're allowing them to pervade our lives and sometimes our bodies.
That's funny. That reminds me of a lot of the. Have you watched Black Mirror?
Some of it, not all of it.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of it either, but I've
full
watched
disclosure.
Some of it.
I've seen 1.5 episodes.
That's it. Oh, yeah, I haven't. I think I've seen maybe 2 seasons.
I saw the first one where he has to fuck the pig.
Yeah,
and half of the one with Daniel Kaluuya in it, where they're like the one where I guess they're living in sort of a simulated life where they just like go to this room, they like run on a exercise bike for credits or something like that.
Oh yeah,
whatever it's called.
I saw that one too. That one was pretty good. But I think they're all pretty good, but I haven't seen all of it yet. I think I've seen the first and second and some of the third season. I think there's 4 seasons out now. But
I think it's 6 now.
Really? 6?
I think it might be 6. Might be 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
Either there are 5 out right now and they announced the 6th and it's in production, or there are 6 out right now.
Well, yeah, then I've watched less than half of it. But I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Have you seen any movies in recent, like over the summer?
Like, you mean in the theaters?
Theaters, or you just throw them on? Anything that sticks out in your mind?
And well, I've been meaning to like go and because there's a movie theater, like a 10-minute walk from here. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see some movies, but I just never really had the time because my work schedule is really weird. Mm-hmm. But I think the most recent movie that I watched was Your Name.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. It's Japanese or something?
Yeah, it's a Japanese animated movie that I had seen it before, but I was I really liked it, so I was making my girlfriend watch it, and then it's like one of those that is really a tearjerker. So she ended up like sobbing at the end. Even it's not like a horrible ending, but it's like it just still, you know, gets the emotions rolling. But I really like that movie. I got to get it on DVD because I only watched it, I think, I like rented it on YouTube or something. Other than that, I don't know. Nothing really. I can't really remember. I've just been watching mostly TV shows over the summer. Like, I had been watching Orange is the New Black since whenever it first came out. Okay. And then, you know, each summer, like, a season gets released on Netflix, so I watched that.
And that was the last one that just came out.
Yep, season 7, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. I remember watching it. I started it when I was, like, a freshman in high school, and now it's finally finished. But that was a good series. It was like it touched upon a lot of like interesting issues
in women's prisons.
Yeah, and even like
or just prisons.
Mostly, yeah, like women's prisons, and also they also addressed ICE this past season, and like the ICE
as in the immigration agency.
Yeah. Because a lot of it has to do with like, you know, racism and stuff too. So it was just like really eye-opening, I guess, but interesting. It also had like, you know, the entertainment value, which was nice.
Yeah. I finished a thing a few days ago on Netflix called The Society. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
It's very Lost or The Leftovers kind of, but so it's got that mystery. A bunch of kids get on. They're about to go on a field trip or something, but then it's like, bus driver, the roads were closed. We're bringing you back. They come back to their hometown, and no one else is there. They just get dropped off, and it's just them. And so it's like a mystery of, how did this happen? Where is everybody? But it's also very teen drama.
Yeah.
Because they're all high schoolers. And I've been kind of half hate watching it.
Yeah.
Because from what I can tell, it takes place in a Connecticut town.
Oh, really?
In Fairfield County. Because you can tell they're all a bunch of like rich assholes.
Yeah.
And you know, every guy on the show is very, I don't know if this is in your lexicon, your vernacular, but I call them Chads.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They're all very Chad.
Yes. Yep. I got you.
Thing is, I don't think I would. I kind of like it now. It's interesting to think about. I got wrapped up in how they get there.
Yeah.
Where's everyone? But the real reason why I started watching that is because of the lead actress is Catherine Newton. She was in Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
She was the reporter girl with the pink hair.
Right.
You saw that?
Yep, I saw that.
I think the week before I started watching this, I had seen a movie called Ben is Back from a year ago. It's written, produced, and directed by Peter Hedges. He wrote the screenplay for What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which was based on his own novel. And Peter Hedges has a son, Lucas Hedges, who he was in Manchester by the Sea. He got an Oscar nomination for that. He's been in a bunch of stuff like Boy Erased, Lady Bird. When he was really young, he was in Moonrise Kingdom. He's just having a ball right now. He's in everything. And Lucas, his son, is the lead actor. He directed his son in this movie, Ben is Back, where he's Julia Roberts plays his mother, and he comes back from rehab because he's a drug addict and stuff. And it was a really good drama where Catherine Newton played his sister.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I liked Detective Pikachu. I saw it in theaters.
So did I. Although I regretted it.
Really? Why?
Just because I would call it passable. it was teetering between really sucking and being okay.
Yeah.
Really, or rather decent.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there seems to be just whenever people try to make movies out of video games, it just doesn't work.
I agree on that one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perhaps the best video game movie I've ever seen was Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and but the original property was a board game, but in that movie it became a video game. The board game transformed itself into a video game. So it's technically a video game movie, and I thought it was good.
Yeah.
But there's something about like that old Super Mario Brothers movie or anything, but just anything based on a video game. There's just something. There's something about them that perhaps it's because video games are interactive.
Yeah.
And like if you're playing anything, it's it is up to you to make sure you advance to like the next level or whatever. There are video games that do act like movies. They have enough of a story, good enough of a story that is basically a movie that you happen to be moving some joysticks around in.
Yeah, like Until Dawn or something like that.
I don't know what that is, but
it's kind of like a horror game, but I really liked it because you can get like different endings and stuff. But it plays. There's less like you actually moving a character on. It's more like quick time events, like stuff like that, making decisions. Yeah.
Like, did you ever see like that Assassin's Creed movie? Or
I never saw it. No,
I didn't see it because I knew it was going to.
Yeah,
shit the
and
bed.
I also never saw the Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah, that was bad too. I didn't see it, but like I could tell by the tomato score, it's not going to be good. It's just for one, first it's a video game movie. It's not going to be good. But then I checked the tomato score to see maybe this is the one, and then it's not.
It never is. I mean, they're making that Sonic movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which initially, like, just
it's not, dude. Right, it's not going to be good.
It's just not. And I feel bad because they created the character and everyone was like, "This looks horrible," which it did look horrible.
Yeah,
but like
he had teeth.
Yeah, and he was shaped like a person just in a Sonic costume and not like actual Sonic. And the eyes were weird. Everything about it was weird. And so now they're having to reanimate the entire movie with him as like a new character model, which I don't think they've revealed what their new version of it is.
No, I don't think so.
But either way, it's just not going to work.
It's not. You can tell by like the tone of the trailer and of course the animation, which I hope it comes out better.
Yeah.
But it's just not. It's not. I don't think it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not even given how much I love Ben Schwartz, the actor who's voicing Sonic.
I know. It sucks, but it's unfortunate that people just think that making these video game movies is just going to be like a huge cash cow. And like a lot of the time it is because people are hoping that it's going to be good, but then it usually isn't. So like they get all their money, but then...
So they got all their money, but it's just a bad movie. And you're like, dude, it made all of the money. Sequel or something.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time.
Are you going to see... there's a sequel to that Jumanji movie called Jumanji: The Next Level. That's coming out later.
Really? I didn't know that. I'll probably see that because I did like the first one. And I like the original Jumanji too, of course.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think... I may have seen it when I was younger, but I don't think I have seen it in full as a conscious adult.
Really?
But what I remember from it, it was not great. No?
The first time I watched it, I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me because, like, I just remember getting to the part where he gets sucked into the game, and I had to stop watching, and I like had nightmares after that. But then, I watched it later on when I got older, and I just ended up liking it. It might be for, nostalgia reasons that I like it.
Because you miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, I like Robin Williams. It has, I forget what the lady's name is, but I like her too.
What lady?
The one who ends up with Robin Williams at the end. The the one who plays with him as a kid.
Yeah, it's
She's been in other things, but
the
I forget
original
what her name
Jumanji is so far removed from my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The only real cast member I can remember is Robin Williams.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only other person in that movie that I know of is Kirsten Dunst as a kid.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. And ever since I got over my fear of it, then I enjoyed it as a movie because I thought the whole concept was cool. And then they made Zathura, which is like pretty much like Jumanji,
kind of,
only space.
It's the novel that Jumanji was based on. Zathura is a sequel. The original Zathura novel book, whatever, is a sequel to the original Jumanji book.
Yeah.
So they kind of take place in the same universe, you could say.
Yeah.
And I remember liking Zathura.
Yeah, I liked that too. I remember when it came out when I was a kid, and
it was directed by Jon Favreau. Who he did, Elf, the Iron Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And other stuff. He did Jungle Book and the recent Lion King.
I haven't seen that. I haven't really made it a point to see any of the recent live action
Disney remakes
movies.
Yeah, no.
I
just don't.
I just have no interest.
It's not. I don't either. Although that may be because I'm not. Sometimes people get like mortally offended when I say like I really don't care about all those Disney films. I just don't.
I don't really either. I mean, I haven't even seen half of the original ones.
Like I get it. You had a happier childhood than me. Stop. But I see what I see. What I happen to be interested in seeing. I'm not interested in fucking Aladdin. Not the old one or this new one.
Yeah, neither am I.
Like I don't understand why anyone thought Guy Ritchie would have been the choice to make Aladdin or anything.
Yeah, I think the only live action one that I saw was Beauty and the Beast, and that was because
I heard
somebody else I went with wanted to see it, so I just
that one was okay, if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
well, also I wanted to see it because it had Emma Watson, and ever since her like Hermione days, she's been like number one for me for like celebrity crush. Honestly,
when did they start doing this trend of remaking the animated classics?
I know they did.
Well, let's count them up. So, in no particular order: Beauty and the Beast, right. Aladdin, this Lion King, Jungle Book. What else was there?
Maleficent,
which is basically what? I can't remember what.
It's the Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, and then I think
they did Snow White.
Oh wait, no, 2015, Cinderella. That Cinderella movie.
Right.
It was directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Had Kate Blanchett in it.
Yeah.
It might have been around there. That was their jumping off point of doing these remakes.
Yeah.
And then they have Mulan coming out next year.
They're doing Little Mermaid.
Okay. Little Mermaid.
There's probably more, but I don't remember. I don't ever really see them in theaters or out of theaters.
Now, based on what you've told me, since neither of us really care for all those classic animated Disney movies, which means neither of us had great childhoods. Do you remember, was there a movie you saw that really piqued your interest in filmmaking?
Just like in general, like
do you remember like just when you were a kid and there was just you saw a movie and it just really gripped you? It didn't inspire you to be a filmmaker, but just like you remember like the first movie you saw and you were conscious enough to think, oh man, this is a really good movie. I like movies.
I think for me that one was the one that I remember distinctly the most was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Okay.
I saw that because my mom liked that movie, so she put it on, and I was just there. And
that is your favorite movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because ever since then, I was like, that just really opened my eyes to like this kind of puzzle piece filmmaking, like way of storytelling that I thought was really interesting. And also like a similar one is Crash.
Oh,
yeah, that's
I would say one's better than the other, but
yeah. But it's like kind of the same concept, like the same way of
now.
Not
in the case
linear.
of Eternal Sunshine, That's more because we're guided through the protagonist's actions, and they themselves cannot remember everything they've ever done because they were that operation to get drugged and lose their memories. But in the case of Crash, if I have the right Crash,
Yeah.
The one with like Don Cheadle, Sandra Bullock, all those people. That's more because it's taking place in L.A. and it's all these interweaving storylines of all these different people.
Yeah,
kind of like Magnolia, kind of, or any other movie where you have a big ensemble cast with their own plot lines that come together.
Yeah.
Now I remember seeing Crash and I liked it. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it was Best Picture.
Yeah. I liked it too, but it's obviously not my favorite movie.
For what it's worth, Crash was good. It was a fine watch. But it's kind of heavy-handed in the cop who was racist or something is reaching out to save her.
Yeah, it was very it was not subtle.
It was
that.
No, especially when Ludacris is first on screen he's talking to some guy.
Yeah.
Something. They have this meta commentary on like something crime the black people in LA. Something. Yeah. Oh well, yeah, that's right. We're criminals. Pull out guns.
Yeah. that was. I remember the first time I saw that. I'm like, all right.
I was like, I thought that was funny, but does that fit into the rest of this movie?
Yeah, really. I mean, a lot of the movie is like about, and it's anti-racism, not trying to perpetuate stereotypes, but then there's that. So it's like,
oh yeah, that's right. We are.
Yeah. Maybe because we got a gun.
The filmmaker behind Crash, Paul Haggis, he even apologized for Crash winning Best Picture over like Brokeback Mountain.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, I don't. In retrospect, I don't think they should. I don't think my movie should have gotten this.
Damn.
Because I don't know if you've seen Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've seen it.
It is one of my favorite movies. Speaking of movies about gay people who get killed, or something. It's one of my favorite movies. Whenever I tell people it's one of my favorite movies, they can't. Or maybe this was back in high school when people would have been like, "Wait, what are you doing?" It's like, no, it's just a really good movie. They just happen to be gay.
So you're gay?
No, maybe for Jake Gyllenhaal, totally. No, no, but it's just I own it. I watched it a few times, more than a few times, just because it was directed by Ang Lee, who's the guy behind like Life of Pi and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and loads of other movies. And it's just there's a reason why he won Best Director for this. It's a gripping story, great drama, and it's fantastic filmmaking.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have to see it again because it's been at least like 5 years since I've seen it. So, but that was another one that my mom showed me. Yeah.
Was that her trying to see if you were gay?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, when did she show you that?
I don't know. All I know is that I must have been like maybe 15, 16, maybe younger. I don't remember.
So she was testing your sexuality.
Maybe. Because she didn't tell me what it was about. Like she just put it on and I was watching it and I was like, wait, are they like gay? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, but you see, they marry women. Yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah, so
or something.
Something like that. I don't know. But I think she was more worried about my brother with that aspect.
What does that mean?
My brother kind of, I guess, shows more of the signs of being possibly gay than I guess I do. Stereotypically. Not that he hasn't like, come out or anything, but it's, if you have to, he's kind of the ones where you can like just look at him and listen to him talk, watch him for maybe even just a couple minutes, and you're like,
I have the inkling.
Yeah.
You still have to confirm it by asking him, but you have the inkling.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, it's a little more than just an inkling at this point. It's kind of just like an unspoken knowing.
So when she showed your brother Brokeback Mountain, it became his favorite movie.
I think, honestly, I think he doesn't even. He doesn't care, or he just has no idea, or he's not concerned with it because he hasn't.
Okay.
I mean, he's going to be 17, but hasn't showed any signs of really
acting on it.
Yeah, he doesn't, like talk about having crushes on anybody or anything. He just does his own thing. So,
you mean masturbating?
I mean, could be taken like that. I don't know what my brother does behind closed doors, but
closed doors. Watch Brokeback Mountain on repeat.
Yeah,
while masturbating.
Probably.
No, but we're at about an hour. Do you want to keep going, or?
I mean, probably not, because they called me. My work called me, being like, "Could you come in a little early?" And I was like, "Well, once I finish what I'm doing, like this, then I could probably come in, because I'm supposed to be there at 5." And they're like, "Come in early. We don't have any drivers." So I was like,
define early, as in as soon as you can.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
but it's not like super urgent, because I'm not technically even. I told them it wouldn't be any earlier than like 2:33. So they were like, okay. And I'm like, well, I'll see what I can do, but it's not. I'm not like, it's not like I'm going to be late for coming in early or anything like that.
Late for coming in early.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not. I'm not scheduled for that, so they're lucky I'm even coming in even an hour or two early.
Guys, I'm real late for early.
For real.
That's my next album, Late for Early.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a good talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Cool.